Hello guys, this is Max. I'm a massage therapist and a osteopath here in Barcelona. Today we got the second part of a video that I started last month. It's the same client, but we're gonna work mostly on the lower limb today. And we're gonna start our massage in this position. This position allows you to reach all the 6 deep rotators of the glutes. The gemello inferior, gemello superior, the piriformis, the glute medius, reaching even the TFL. I noticed that when you start from down up, the more you go close to the hips, and you can see from the face of the client, the more painful it becomes. So you got to pay a lot of attention to the intensity you use with your patient. Here you can see another technique, the classical pin and stretch technique. In that point, you can see how, again, my client react to my thumb in the glute medius. Why this is happening? We know that women has a Q angle, that is the ratio between the knees and the hips, that is much bigger than the male angle. Sometimes that can cause a lot of tension in the hips. The Q angle is obviously determined by the fact that the women can carry babies and men can't, even if lately there are some ideas that support the opposite. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm going to stay strict to massage if I want to keep on doing this job on YouTube. So I'm working now on the glute medius, and because of the pain, sometimes I like to interact with the neck. So I give another point to concentrate on my client. It's like when you fall and you were a baby and your mother was like rubbing where you hurt. That kind of take away the pain from the fall itself. In the same way, I apply tension and a touch to the neck to create some kind of how you call it? It's a trick. Let's call it as a trick. It's a trick not to make the client feel too much pain. In this position, you can work even the foot and give a good mobilization of the ankle. And work on a tibialis anterior. In my videos, the purpose of my videos is to teach the best technique, but some people use it to fall asleep. So if you are one of that category, hopefully today you're gonna hear my voice for at least 28 minutes, because I try to upload this video without the voice, and they rated 18. I don't know why. It must be that there is something about the video itself that inspires some sensuality, but I don't think there is. What I'm doing is just giving a massage, working on a fascia, opening up all the adhesion and get rid of them. So right now, for example, I'm working on intermuscular septum, posterior intermuscular septum, that is that point that is between the bicep femoris and the semitendinoso, semimembranoso, and then I'm back into the glutes. I'm doing this video from this side because so you can see better the kind of work I do on the glutes. Remember, the glutes, when you work a muscle, you want to work the muscle that is just below the muscle you're working and up the muscle you're working. So every time you have somebody complain for a pain, you got to work all the chain of muscle, the synergistic muscle, they work on the same line. In this case, we're working on a back chain, so you might want to work, yes, the glutes that are the main concern right now, but you want to work the hamstring and you want to work the QL, you want to go up into the extensor of the back. Here you can see some work on a piriformis, I'm asking the client to activate the piriformis. You can see she's she's a little in pain, and you can follow the piriformis all the way into the femur, from the sacrum to the femur. Then you always want to give some kind of a reassurance to say, okay, this is not going to be all the massage. You're going to feel even some pleasure in the massage. And now we have some work on the lateral side. This position allows you to go, this is confrontal massage. This position allows you to go down into the rhomboid and into the middle of the traps. I was using this position even to find the thumbnail for the video, so you see some playing with the camera just to do the thumbnail. And here I'm going into the trapezius and into the occiput. Remember, this point of the occiput can be your best technique, because the occiput is where the trapezius meet the occiput. It's probably the best point for the client. Why? What I mean by that? I mean that some clients really like when you rubbing that point, and I believe when you give massage, you have to have an idea of the technique that are painful and the technique that are that give pleasure. When you can really mix these two techniques in a blend that is it's like being a DJ, and you create that that intensity with the music, and then there is a certain drop. I would say that the massage in the occiput, the massage in certain part of the hands and on the feet, or even in the back, close to levator scapula, that can be the drop of the DJ when you put music in it. If you wanna do I'm kind of losing myself in what I'm saying, because everything is improvised when I'm talking to you. But yeah, I think you understand what I mean. And here, again, the same work I was doing before, but from another angle. So I'm working the rhomboid, I'm working the medial trapezius, and I give this inhibition of the muscle while I'm moving in the same time the scapula in a rounded motion. Here you can even stretch the rhomboid and stretch the spine. And then some work on the trapezius, the upper trapezius. Really nice position, because allow you to play with the neck, again, with the occiput. It's like being embraced in a nice, warm hug. But it's a therapeutic hug. It's a therapeutic hug for your muscle. And here again, I go down into the sacrum. And this is the work on the hamstring, and eventually I'm going to do the same work on the adductor. So this is not the best position to work the hamstring, but in a way make reaching the ischiotuberosity much easier, because there is no the weight on the glutes on top of it, because it's on the side. So here I'm working on the adductor. For the adductor, this is probably the best position you can find. Allow you to work all the adductor magnus, adductor brevis, the pectineus, the gracilis, and you can even do an epinal stretch. So you can see when I move gentle the leg, you activated the adductor, you move the fiber of the adductor. You can even stretch, and you can go again on the gastrocnemius. You can work all the lower limb. Here again, I'm about to do an adjustment. She was complaining of pain in the sacrum, and when you have to do an adjustment, other things, sometimes you want to start on the opposite side where the pain is, because most of the time when you adjust a person for example, in this case for the sacral, if the pain is too much, you want to do the adjustment on the other side and then go back to the original adjustment. Here I create tension. I look for the breathing of the client, and here we go, the adjustment. Some people ask me how is working with women that are plus size or bigger. I don't find a lot of difference in the work, except when you have to do movement like this, that you have to carry all the weight into your arm. Well, I'm well trained, I'm strong, and I can do this all day. But for some people this can be pretty challenging. But when you do mobilization, that can be a little challenge. But when you give a massage, there is no difference in between a bigger person on the smaller person, just the pressure you got to apply. And if the person has a higher body fat, and of course, as always, in this house in Barcelona, there's always some kind of noise that kind of bothering me. But I'm used to it. It's the devil. This is the devil. It's the shadow that is in our life, that when you want to do something the best, there is something else that try to challenge you. And now I'm challenging my client with the work on the foot. As I was saying, the foot can be really pleasurable, but it can be really painful. It depends. I find that, for example, in the center, where the talus is, in the center of the foot is where you find mostly of the painful fibers in the foot. Here I'm using a great technique. I found that open the foot from the back, it's much easier and much rewarding for my patient, because you can press and open, press and open, press and open, and then you find a connection with the foot. You try to move it, you try to feel every little fiber, every little toes, and you remember the foot is connected with the calf, so you don't forget the calves. So you move from the foot and you open and close the toes, so that you create a pin and stretch that allow to open and grounded the foot to the ground. Here's some work on the top of the toes. Don't forget that, because it can be really painful, but it can be here again, some work on the bottom of the foot. You're gonna squeeze that foot, open that foot. This, I promise you guys, this, when you do this to your client or to your partner, she's gonna go to heaven. Again, I mean, how much can I talk about a foot massage? Here, again, some work on the foot. So, here's some more work on a tibialis anterior. I like this position because allow you to grab the lateral side of the lower limb and to work on that peroneals tarsal and on the peroneals. And from here, you can grab the foot and you can almost hug it like a hand. You hug the foot like you're holding a hand. It feels really good. It feels pretty weird for you and for your client, but it's a nice technique. I like to do it. Of course, the person has to have clean feet, because if you have dirty feet, you avoid all this. I put gloves, especially on men, that you can imagine what kind of food you can find. So the best is always to send your client before coming to do things before coming to the massage, like hygiene first. So I don't really have this problem with girls. Girls generally, they come with clean feet, but I have a really bad experience with guys, man. Worst, horrible, smelly, dirty. I can't believe some people can come to a massage with such a indecent and smelly foot. I wasn't embarrassed for them. I was just, you know what, man? I'm gonna use the gloves. I can't do a massage to you without the gloves. So if you see some gloves massage, most of the time is because the person is not. Not necessarily. If you wanna do, sometimes you use the gloves to have a good grip. But when I use the glove with some men, is because just it's come si dice in Spagna, te da asco. It's terrible. Well, anyway, let's go back to the massage. This is a massage, a stretching of the calf, of the hamstring, and this is the piriformis. It's a good stretch. Sometimes you can ask the client to even to press against your hand, so you can go deeper into the stretch, and then some good mobilization of the hips. Grab the other leg, mobilize, stretching the psoas. And here we are again on the calf. Calf work, technique that comes from Thai. I don't know if it's only Thai or it can be even a sport massage. You can see how I grab all that gastrocnemius and push it down. Watch out when you do this technique, guys. It can be really painful. I saw people jumping. There's a lot of trigger point in that gastrocnemius. It's probably one of the most painful spots to work on. Here's some stretch again, some stretch of the hamstring. I use that leg to push down the other leg so it doesn't come up. So when you stretch the psoas, for example, or the hamstring, the other leg doesn't come up as a reaction to the pushing you do on the opposite leg. And then I move again into a nice mobilization, a nice stretch of the piriformis. And here's some, this technique, guys, it feels really good. I will always adopt it as from Thai massage. Again, great teachers in Thai massage. And it works the back. This other technique that is stretch the glutes is not, I don't suggest to do it when you have somebody with back pain. I know it's pretty common to see people with back pain trying to twist in left and right, but if you listen to McGill says, when you have back pain, avoid any twisting, avoid to find that relief in the twisting is not helpful. It's just a relief in the stretch, and it's not really helping the back to get better. Here's some work on the adductor and at the same time on the quadriceps. I found that every time you grab any part of the body with two hands, it become like a hug. It become like the person feels like he's embraced in a warm therapeutic embrace. Okay, I'm repeating myself. What I'm saying is like you want to find the more you can use the two hands to contract and to reduce the spot where you're working, and in the same time using it together, the more the massage feels better to the client. Here I'm working on the hamstring, and see again I'm using the two hands. That two hands work, it's gold, guys. I will use it. You guys in this position, you don't have the maximum leverage on that hamstring, because you have to, in a way, pushing diagonal on into the hips, because you don't have a lot of stability. That's why I always see egging. So you want to be closer, and you want to be it's kind of like jiu-jitsu. You want to be closer to your opponent. The closer you are to the opponent, the better is your technique. In the same way, in the massage, in the adjustment, is something that I notice getting and mastering some technique, that the closer you are, the better is your work. Here we have some work on the quadriceps, some pin and stretch, very useful for people that run, people that train in a gym. I use this all the time, people that do triathlon. You warm it up, and then you go deeper into the fascia, breaking the adhesion, make that quadriceps strong and pliable again. Here, asking the guy to go on the side to work. This is the same position I was doing before on the other side for the adductor. Here you can see how you can pin and stretch the adductor, and reaching into the pubis. Sometimes I ask the person, the client, if he's a man, to hold the genitals, so that you delimitate the area, because in this job can be it can be really challenging sometimes when you want to work, for example, on the obturator internus. It is a muscle that is behind it's inside the leg, So you want to ask the client to hold their genitals, and same for the girls, so that you delimitate the space, and you got to be really straightforward. They communicate, they go, look, I'm gonna come and work on this area, I'm gonna ask you to cover your genitals, and this is the limitation where I'm gonna go. It's gonna be pretty intimate, and but it's gonna be fine. You're gonna feel better, your hips are gonna move better. Here's some work on the diaphragm. I ask her to breathe. When she breathes out, the belly expands, and you maintain the pressure on the diaphragm. And when she breathes out, you maintain the pressure on the diaphragm. In a certain way, you go deeper into the ribs, under the ribs. Don't go in the center, because there is a solar plexus, and it can be really painful. Here, some work, visceral work. Sometimes people with back pain can be feel a good relief of the back pain if you work the viscera. For example, we have a strong connection between the kidney and the psoas. So if you start working on the psoas and on the kidney, the back pain sometimes disappear. This is another challenging point for our client, is the pec minor. Pec minor, that is related to everything around the shoulder. What does it mean? People with around the shoulder, they have this pec minor really tight, and pec minor and subclavius, that is a muscle, that is a little muscle under the clavicula. And if you release this muscle and you activate your back, your rhomboid, your medial trapezius, eventually you will get rid of that bad posture. Of course, if the posture doesn't come from the hips, but if you have a anterior pelvic tilt, sometimes you have what is called lower cross syndrome, and you got to work releasing your psoas, make your glutes stronger and your abs stronger, so you correct the hips. Correcting the hips, you correct the upper part. Correcting the upper part, you correct your neck. So everything is connected in this job, guys. And here we're trying to find a nice position for the camera. I don't know why I didn't cut it. Here's some work on the neck and on the traps. Here, some work on this occiput. Yeah, just looking at this, I'm falling asleep. I don't know if you're still here looking, listen to me. I don't know how you not fall asleep already. But yeah, this is probably the most boring thing to watch. It's like watching painting dry. Yeah, what can I say about this technique? It feels really good. It's nice to see, to watch for 10 seconds, maybe 5. And but when you receive it, oh my God, guys, I saw women really, I don't know. It's just it's a pleasurable moment. That's why they keep on coming back. And if to that you add some work on a facial, oh my, your massage is gonna gain so much traction, and you're gonna have a repeat client all the time. Like I have a lot of repeat clients. They keep on coming back. They love my technique. They love what I'm doing. They love the way I make them feel. They feel safe. It's a safe environment. It's always been, and I will always maintain in this way. Here, you can really see I'm putting my hands into the occiput, into C1, C2. There are 4 little muscles there that they need to be worked. And yes, guys. Oh, I didn't say I have a Patreon. It's mostly the same massage, but on the women are in underwear. So if you wanna watch video that you can see here on YouTube, just jump on my Patreon. Unfortunately I don't. Some people complain that I don't post too much on Patreon, but it's difficult to find women that want, be in underwear. They're not professionals, so they're all clients, and that's what I have. So go check it out. The first time you're gonna love it so much. Anyway, thank you for following me, and see you soon. Ciao.